Good morning, everyone. I'm Dennis Hedinger. I'm Director of Sales at FlowPoint Technologies. With me here is Brad Johnson, our co-founder and Director of Product. FlowPoint is focused on managing risk surrounding private company and private fund performance in a way that's both operationally effective and scalable. And that's relevant to you, whether you're a private lender or a commercial lender, whether you're a fund allocator like an RIA or a family office, or whether you're a venture capital firm, among others, of course. So today, we thought it would be exciting if I role-played through this demo as a principal in a private lending firm. I know it's a bit of a stretch to imagine, but let's give it a try and get started. So Brad, as a lender, collecting private company performance metrics is by far the most difficult part of my job. It is just a fully manual process. I don't have a Bloomberg-like service that I can look at for private company performance metrics. Is there any way that you can help me out of this data abyss?
Absolutely, Dennis, for sure. So one of the key ways that we help you out of the data abyss is through our monitoring dashboards. Let's just take a look at one of those here. So the monitoring dashboards essentially help you look across your portfolio. They provide a curated view that lets you always stay on the pulse. And through our standardized and structured time series information, we remove all the mechanical aspects of your analytics so you can stay focused on great decision making and building long-lasting customer relationships.
Brad, that's great. So near real-time KPI monitoring of my private companies. But as a lender, especially a private lender, some of my loans are factor-based. I do it based off accounts receivable. So because of that, I need to do a ton of monitoring. And I need to do customized monitoring based off of each one of my clients. Is that possible with FlowPoint?
Absolutely. So that brings us to the second key area where we help you come out of the data abyss. And for that, we move from the monitoring dashboard over to our active reporting dashboard. On the active reporting dashboard, you get a view of your entire portfolio and all the reporting requests that you've configured in the system. You can see who's late, what's pending, what's in review, and you can also take a look at whatever's been submitted. You can also, if necessary, send a document for correction if there's a problem, so it keeps everything locked into the platform. And you can access our handy audit log, where we keep a track of every single event that's happened around the reporting as well as the conversation. So you have both the data and the conversation for a very complete picture of compliance and auditability.
Well, I'll tell you, Brad, that's making me feel like I'm starting to get out of this data abyss. But tell me, what about my clients? That's what's important to me, the borrowers. Is it easier for them to report? And if so, would they be more willing to do so using FlowPoint?
Absolutely. So at FlowPoint, we definitely appreciate the value of making reporting easy for the borrower because nobody likes reporting. So we've created a very simple system for them to provide you with information based off the requests that you've configured. All they need to do is essentially come in, select the files that you've asked for supplemental documentation, or perhaps fill in a simple questionnaire, which can easily also be connected to an API. Then they certify the results, and they're done. This process is very easy and repeatable, month after month or week after week.
Great. So you're telling me this helps my lending firm, but it also brings material value to my client, the borrower.
Absolutely.
And it's easy to become FlowPoint enabled. I sometimes worry about adding a new software. How long does it take to set up these custom reporting needs, Brad?
Well, that's super easy. FlowPoint comes pre-configured with packages that suit your lending type or your VC firm or whatever it may be. So within a few minutes, you can get into the system, tweak a few things, and you can be reporting right away. You can configure monthly, weekly, annually, quarterly, whatever requests you need to cover across your entire portfolio.
No, that's amazing, Brad. And all this data coming in, where does it all end up going? I have enough trouble managing all the shared drives and Excel folders that I have right now.
For sure. Yeah, we appreciate that as well. So that's where our handy data room comes into play. As a result of the upfront configuration work that we may have done with the requests, we have the ability now to automatically organize, structure, and standardize every request that you've asked for throughout all of the requests over time, which creates a great single source of truth for all of the data, as well as, of course, the conversations.
Thanks, Brad. But obviously my main need is being able to manage and monitor my private company and client performance over a time series, and be able to see leading risk indicators based off that data. is there any way for me to spot alerts and spot these indicators that deviate from the norm in real time or near real time?
Absolutely. Yep. So we just come back to our monitoring dashboard here, and the stop along the way, there's two things that we can help with. So one of the unique things about FlowPoint is because we've captured all of the reporting behavior within the platform, we can also give you a unique insight into the actual performance and reporting compliance behavioral analytics to help you make good data-driven decisions to improve compliance. And from there, whatever it is that you're tracking across the whole portfolio, you can configure a simple series of thresholds and alerts on the data so that you can quickly come in and scan across the portfolio to spot the hotspots for risk, which can help you not worry so much.
Wow, that's really cool, Brad. I don't think I've ever seen being able to, in near real time, monitor my reporting compliance. You know, as a lender, you could almost use that tool to make credit assessments in the future as another factor to consider. But Brad, going back to these metrics here, these are more conventional KPIs. Can I get alerting based off those?
Absolutely, yeah. So that's part of the thresholds and alerting. Alerting is not just here in the monitoring dashboard where you can see and actually take action on these items. You know, if you come in and you see an alert here, obviously there's something pretty big going on there. You can override it, or you can leverage the platform through the audit log to communicate with the borrower and set up any kind of meeting you may need to resolve the risk. Or if it's not really a risk, you can just override it to turn it off. So it is actionable and very useful in that regard.
Okay. Well, I can see as a lender how that's super useful to me. And now back to you guys, the audience. We hope that that was an effective way to show you the depth of our product, my role playing aside. Please come to the booth, far right corner. We'd love to talk more about this with you. Look for our beautiful white golf shirts and come talk to us about how you can become FlowPoint enabled.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, everyone.